Welcome to Teleforum. It's Wednesday, and guess what? I don't have to talk about anything political for at least 1 hour because Dale's here. Dale Reckless of MRS Physical Therapy. I like you and I consider you a friend, but some days I'm more excited to see you than others. And today is one of those days. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. You walked in like you always do, otherwise it'd be weird. You walked in and you had a backpack on, and when you took off the backpack, you reminded me of those old miner films where guys are carrying tons of rocks up the hill on their back. I'm going to ask you, and I know you're going to say we'll get to that, but ballpark figure, the backpack, and for those of you that want to see the backpack, this is all being Facebook live streamed also. Ballpark figure, how much you figure that backpack weighs?
Well, when the backpack is weighted down, I brought in 40 pounds of weight today.
Is that what's in it?
Yep.
You know that's bad for your back. I'm telling a physical therapist that. You know that's not good for your back, Dale.
That's right. That's what we're going to talk about today. Today is...
Well, no, back up.
Okay.
You brought weights.
Yep.
Did I ever tell you my story about the weight room?
I don't think so.
Okay. The last day I was in a weight room as required by coaches, I knew it was my last day in a weight room, and I thought, when I walk out of here, I'm never lifting another weight in my life. And that's one of the few promises that I kept 30-something years. Are you going to have me lifting weights today? I mean, I'll do it for you, I guess.
We won't be lifting weights, but we're going to be carrying a certain amount of weight. And the reason why I have this backpack and a certain amount of weight today is because today is a special day. Today is National Backpack Awareness Day. You probably didn't know that, did you?
There is such, no, I didn't know that.
There is such a thing, and today is National Backpack Awareness Day.
Well,
and that's why we're going to talk about it.
My first reaction is to make fun of it, but that kind of makes sense, doesn't it, with kids going back to school?
It's back to school time for kids, kids of all ages. Some kids are going to school for the first time. Some kids have gone to school for many years. But we're going to talk about why there is a National Backpack Awareness Day and safe ways to use your backpack and smart ways to use your backpack.
Okay, so this would be a good day if you have the opportunity to watch this on Facebook to see what we're talking about. Demonstrating it. I'm going to be the demonstrator, I bet, aren't I?
Indeed you are.
Okay. I knew weights were going to come back into this somehow. I knew that.
So there's the right and wrong ways to wear your backpack, and we've probably all done the wrong ways, and we probably know how to do the right ways, but we're going to demonstrate that today.
Okay.
So if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can see the right and wrong ways to wear your backpack, and we'll also talk about what the recommended amount of weight that you should carry in your backpack, because there are certain amounts of weight that are too much that change postural factors and can actually injure you if you have too much weight in your backpack.
Kids, and I was guilty of this, my attitude was, okay, what do I need for the entire day? Pile it all in and just hump it from class to class, and maybe one shoulder strap for a while, that'd get tired, the other shoulder strap for a while, and that would get tired. So everything today is going to alleviate what I should have known back then but didn't.
That's
well, there
right.
was no National Backpack Awareness Day back then.
Probably not, because it started the first one was in 2001.
Oh no, I had given up on all literature by then. Yeah, there was no more reading required in my life.
Yeah, the first time we started educating about backpacks is in 2001. The backpack was actually created in 1938, and then the lightweight backpack came out in about 1968. So backpacks have been around for a while, and they've been used in the wrong way. You know, many of us have just used the single shoulder method because
that's me.
Kind of cooler, kind of easier just to sling it over one shoulder.
Throw it over, throw it down, right?
But it's not the way to wear your backpack. So we're going to demonstrate how to properly wear a backpack today. So, and you're going to be our demo model.
That makes me a spokesmodel, doesn't it?
It makes you spokesmodel.
I've always dreamed of channeling Janice Pennington. This will go really, really well. So, this is obviously on the radio. It's Teleforum, but if you can Facebook this, Facebook Live, there's going to be demonstrations, and I'm going to be a part of it. And seriously, did you have to put that much weight in it to demonstrate this?
Well, right now there's only 25 pounds in it.
Only?
So
okay.
The recommendation is for you to have a maximum of 10 to 15% of your weight that you carry in your backpack. So before I came here, I guessed you at about 180. Now,
Oh,
if I
God
was-
bless you.
If I was in a carnival, would I have guessed you close?
I'd win the Cupid doll, baby. I'd win the Cupid doll because, yes, God bless you. I'll just say that.
So
I'm going to stand up.
I'm giving you the amount of weight that about a 180-pound man should be recommended to weigh
Okay.
or to wear in their backpack.
All right.
Okay. At that 10 to 15% level, that's the amount of weight that we're going to start you out with here.
All right.
Okay. So this is
That's only-
actually
that's
my
25
son's
pounds.
this is my son's baseball backpack here. So it is my son's birthday today, so I wish Andrew a happy 9th birthday today.
Andrew, I promise I'm not going to mess up your. Oh, my God. Yeah, hike it up further. There you go.
Well, let's just let it relax first. So if you turn this way for me. One
Yeah.
common mistake that people make is that they don't have the backpack high enough. So it's down too low on their
Right.
back,
Oh.
which puts extra strain on their low back. So you want to make sure the backpack straps get the backpack high enough so that when you lift it up, you tighten up these straps here
Yeah.
on both sides. Okay. And
I
stand up-
feel like you're
stand up tall there
putting
for me.
stuff on a mule.
And
All
look
right.
straight at. Now this is the recommended. This is the maximum amount of weight that you should have for an 80-pound man. And you can tell that alone is not easy, right? That's a pretty good amount of weight, and that's the max recommended. So that alone is a pretty good amount of weight to carry.
That is
And you
a
can
lot of
see-
weight,
And you can
actually.
see, and you imagine like waiting for a school bus or walking through the school halls and things like that. That's a pretty good amount of weight. Now some backpacks also have a chest strap or a waist strap. This
Little
one does
clip,
not.
yeah.
That clips around. That helps to redistribute the pressure a little bit better, the weight a
Yeah.
little better. So we recommend you use a chest strap or a waist strap to redistribute the weight a little better for your backpack.
Okay.
But you can see how that weight affects, that weight alone is a pretty good amount of weight.
I feel like I have to lean forward a little bit to
Yeah.
keep from getting pulled back.
And that, again, that's you're wearing the 10 to 15% right now.
Yeah.
So that's the maximum weight you should wear. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to show you what kids are actually wearing.
Seriously, it's like you're loading up a mule for a wagon train when you put that on me. It's
So our school district had a board meeting on Monday that I listened in on.
Okay.
And one of the moms called in with this exact concern, that her daughter, who's 6 years old,
Oh my
has
gosh.
too much weight in her backpack and she has trouble wearing it. And her complaint is that she's walking hunched forward, which you felt yourself,
with what
right?
you have in there with the recommended weight for somebody my size, when you put it on, my first reaction, I need to lean forward because if I don't, it feels like I'm going to go back.
So now what I'm going to demonstrate is a exact replica of what this parent's concern was.
Okay.
This parent's concern was that their 6-year-old daughter, who weighs 40 pounds, is carrying a 9-pound backpack. Now 9 pounds doesn't sound like a whole lot.
Well, that's
but it's
almost
close to
25%.
25% of her
Right.
weight. So what I did is for an 180-pound man, close to yourself, I put in what would be about 25% of your weight here, and let's see how this changes your posture and your ability to carry the backpack.
Oh, I feel a workman's comp suit coming on. All right, hang on,
Okay.
let me get. Oh, this is stupid.
Okay, so let's get the profile there and try to stand up tall. Okay, as soon as you start-
literally, and
you start-
I'm not exaggerating. If I try and stand straight up,
You start falling backward or lean
yeah,
backward, right?
I'm
So
going
that's
in-
one problem with a backpack that's too heavy. It actually changes your balance point and can throw you off balance.
oh, very much.
And the other thing, in order for you to be able to walk through a hallway or stand at a bus stop, you have to counterbalance, which requires you to lean forward more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
So
walking.
now it creates a more forward trunk lean, a more forward head position. And what this does, it affects your postural muscles of your neck, your low back. It can actually give you some pinched nerves
I
as
can
well in
feel
your
it.
shoulders and your neck.
Through my neck and in my shoulders, big time.
So imagine a 6-year-old child having to have this amount of weight and carry it, hold it at the bus stop, carry it through the halls. It's a really significant amount of weight for someone to be able to carry.
What-
And this is what kids are carrying these days.
What's
This
in
high
it
percentage
that,
of
that
weight.
causes that much? How many books does a 6-year-old have?
Well, kids have to carry Chromebooks back and forth to school now, so they
Okay.
have a certain amount of weight. They still have regular books. They probably have a lunch bag, a water bottle, things like that, and it adds up pretty quick. So this is what you're wearing
This
now.
hurts.
Yeah, what you're wearing now corresponds to what the average kid is having to carry in their backpack to and from school.
No, this is absolutely crazy. This isn't the little heavy, okay, too bad, tough it out.
Yeah.
This almost it feels punitive,
It's
actually.
pretty unreasonable, right?
I'm
to feel like you're
flashing
carrying
back
all
to
that.
the sports where they put the weight vest on you. Seriously, this
Yeah.
is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, you ready to take that off?
Oh, dear Lord, yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And can
It's
you
just
imagine
like-
the kid getting this on and off themselves as well?
It's just like grade
you
school.
get
My
to
mom
school?
having to dress me. That's insane. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not even close to acceptable. If you've got a perfectly healthy skeletal structure, by the time a kid gets to Christmas, they're going to be hunched over like a 90-year-old man just to support it.
So that's why we do as much education as we can to the community and to our friends and family about proper wear of a backpack, what the proper load should be in a backpack. There are other options as well, than the over-the-shoulder backpack. They have the trolley-style backpacks that have the wheels.
The rollers,
The rollers, just like you would imagine for luggage going through an airport kind of thing. They make those for kids, for if you do have a heavy load that you can't carry. There are other options out there that we tell people to consider. But we also have this nice handout, this backpack safety tips that we give out to our patients and community.
Right.
So if anyone that's listening or watching, if they would like one of these handouts to share with their family, friends, or kids, if you call us at MRS Physical Therapy or Cranberry Physical Therapy, we'd be happy to email and share this with you.
Give everybody all the information they need to get in touch with you. That's ludicrous. And I'm not being whiny.
Yeah.
There is no way a kid should be carrying, percentage-wise, that amount of weight on their back. I don't care how many lunch boxes.
Yeah, we agree. So in order to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us at MRS Physical Therapy at our number is 724-728-7550, or at Cranberry Physical Therapy, the number is 724-591-8121, or you can send me an email, which is at d.reckless@mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
All right, I'm going to talk more with Dale. We'll take a break first, and after the break, I think it's evening wear time, isn't it? I'm into this spokesmodel thing. Stay with me.
You're losing me now.
That's insane. It's Teleforum. Dale Reckless is my guest. You can watch this on our Facebook live stream. Just go to Beaver County Radio on your Facebook, and you can help testify later when I file my lawsuit for getting crippled at work. It's Teleforum on Beaver County Radio.
Years ago, thousands of people would flock to Ambridge every May and enjoy one of the greatest food festivals around, Nationality Days. Even though the legendary street fair ended some time ago, you can still enjoy some of those popular treats as Nationality Days continue at Ambridge Italian Villa. Enjoy genuine Greek, Italian, Mediterranean, and American favorites just as you used to at this time of year, but all from the same place, Ambridge Italian Villa. It's time to celebrate the foods you enjoyed at Nationality Days at Ambridge Italian Villa, located on Duss Avenue in Ambridge. You can also bring the exciting flavors of many nationalities to your home, event, or large gathering with family meal specials and extensive catering options perfect for graduation parties, reunions, weddings, picnics, or anytime. Click AmbridgeItalianVilla.com. Nationality Days is back, and it's going on today and every day at Ambridge Italian Villa.
Ambridge Italian Villa, a family tradition with the taste sensation.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 for the best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas. The show is hosted by Mike Romai and is dedicated to shining light on great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests that are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is presented by St. Barnabas. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with new show host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com/the best of Beaver County.
Can two words really change your outlook on life?
Play ball!
They can when it's those two words. Those are the words you've been longing to hear. It is time to play ball, so turn your radio on and feel your heart skip a beat as the crack of the bat and the voices of the Pirates Radio Network take you to your happy place on Beaver County Radio. Pirates baseball coverage is presented locally in part by Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, St. Barnabas, and Falcones Moon Township Ford. It's time to play ball on WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM. Who's this week's pick of the litter? Listen to Beaver County Radio every Monday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon for the Beaver County Humane Society's Pick of the Litter. We'll be highlighting 2 lucky resident animals from the shelter who need a loving home. Plus, we'll be featuring pictures and information about the animals on our website each week. It's WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM's Pick of the Litter each Monday and Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Pick of the Litter on Beaver County Radio is brought to you by Albert's Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning in Conway, Tom Sipes Demolition, the Beaver Falls Beauty Academy, and Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and 99.3 FM.
Do I really have a choice? 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and 99.3 FM. Presented by St. Barnabas. If you would like to watch one grown man do his best to cripple another grown man, today's your day. Dale Reckless is with me of MRS Physical Therapy, and today is National Backpack Awareness Day.
That's right.
Correct?
Yep.
All right, the first segment, Dale put a backpack on me, and no exaggeration, I could not get through a school day or any day with that much weight on my back. And percentage-wise, that's what kids are trying to function with. There's no way you could do that and not go home and just feel like absolute death. Your back would be jacked up. That weight was on me, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
I can still feel it in my shoulders, and I can feel it in my neck. Now, after the news, we've got another demonstration. Dale's going to mess with me some more. What's that demonstration going to be about?
So next week is National Falls Awareness Week.
Okay.
So
that's right up my alley. That I got. All right.
With the first day of fall next week, they parallel that to National Falls Awareness Week, which is fall prevention. So MRS is actually doing free fall screens next week. So in our next segment, we're going to demonstrate some of the things that we look at when we assess someone's fall risk. And the reason why we do fall risk prevention is because there is such a high number of adults that fall every year. 25% of adults fall every year. 1/3 of the people over the age of 65 fall every year, and 1/2 of the people over the age of 80 fall every year. And there are some preventative measures that we can do through our physical therapy program to decrease your risk of falling.
Okay.
But the first thing we like to do is to see if you are a fall risk or not. And so next week we're offering free fall risk screens at MRS Physical Therapy and Cranberry Physical Therapy, where you use a specialized computerized system. One's called the Neurocom and one's called the BioSway, which are very sensitive to predict falls. So we put you on a computerized platform, and because of its sensitivity, it allows us to predict your likelihood of falling.
So it's feeling if I'm shifting, even if I'm not feeling it. We did
Exactly.
this. We did this once before, where I had to stand on one foot.
Yep.
Is that part of that process?
Yep, we've done components of it on the show before. The test that you do when you come to our site is using the computerized system, though, which is much more sensitive than the test that we did here.
Okay. I can't get over the amount of weight in that backpack, and I'm thinking about a little kid. Do school districts understand this? Is this something that's been brought up to school boards, saying, "Hey, this is, I'd say, dangerous"?
Yeah, so I had actually planned to do this demonstration today, but as a matter of fact, listening to the school board meeting at Seneca Valley, where my kids go to school on Monday, one of the students' parents actually brought it up to the school board.
Oh, nice.
So the school board is aware, and I actually sent an email to the school board letting them know what we do as physical therapists and what we recommend as physical therapists, and I invited them to watch our show today as well.
All right, more demonstrations after this. News is next on Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Radio's news source. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Frank Sparks.
Good morning. Today's forecast is calling for showers and thunderstorms. High's going to be up to 77 degrees today. We'll have a complete Beaver County Radio weather forecast for you coming up right after we have this look at news. The City of Beaver Falls Police Chief David Johnson issued a press release involving the shooting that occurred in the City of Beaver Falls on Friday night, September the 10th. The release stated that at approximately 8:11 p.m. on Friday, City of Beaver Falls police were dispatched to a shooting incident in the 300 block of 12th Street in Beaver Falls. Upon arrival, it was discovered that 2 victims were shot. Both were treated on the scene, with one being flown to Pittsburgh Area Hospital. The second victim was transported to a local hospital by ambulance for treatment of injuries. Chief Johnson said in the release that it is an active investigation and no further information is available for release at this time. The City of Beaver Falls announced via their Facebook page that the Beaver Falls City Building will be closed to the public starting today, September the 15th at 8 a.m. They said the city building will be closed until further notice, and that is to protect the public and employees from the increasing number of reported COVID cases. They're asking that you call either the city manager, Charles Jones, at 724-847-2808, extension 215, or your respective departments for further assistance. And it went on to say, take care and be safe. The Hopewell School Board met last night. Beaver County Radio News correspondent Sandy Giordano has more.
Hopewell School Board held its work session in person and via Zoom Tuesday night, accepting the swim coach Elena Marshall's and assistant coach Mark Elder's resignations, effective September 1st, 2021. Some parents expressed disagreement with the district's masking policy during the pandemic and expressed their concerns. Dr. Robert Kardachak, acting superintendent, reported that there are 6 positive cases of COVID-19 at the high school and 31 are quarantined. He said the district is following PDE and DOH guidelines regarding the virus in the district. A report on the district statistics is available at the end of the day on the district's website, he said. A 4th grader from Margaret Ross Elementary School called in and suggested it would be beneficial to have a student representative from the school on the school board. Board meetings will be held the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays at 7 p.m., not on Mondays until the end of the year. The regular meeting is Tuesday, September 28th to 7 p.m. This is Sandy Giordano reporting for Beaver County Radio.
PA State Police in Newcastle reporting that they were dispatched to an assault with a deadly weapon that occurred on Lawrence Avenue in Wayne Township, Lawrence County at 6:34 p.m. on Monday evening. 27-year-old Evan Gibbons told troopers that 26-year-old Caitlin Weller and 25-year-old Lindsay Weller, both of Elwood City, entered his garage and hit him over the head with a rock. The pair then continued to assault Gibbons and cause property damage within the garage. Troopers then went to the 2 females' residence to conduct interviews, and they were uncooperative with troopers. They were both arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, as well as an assault on a police officer. Charges are currently pending through the local district magistrate's office. Many Pennsylvania county jails don't have clear policies to support voting access for people in jails, according to a new report that says this inconsistency leaves some eligible voters in the dark. Emily Scott has more.
The groups All Voting is Local, Common Cause Pennsylvania, and Committee of 70 filed right-to-know requests with 61 county jails, asking for their voting procedures for people incarcerated. They learned there's no universal plan for providing information on voter registration or getting ballots to the 25,000 people in county jails. Ariane Abney with All Voting is Local says without any processes in place, it leaves those prospective voters disenfranchised.
You're basically telling the person in jail, it's your own responsibility. It's up to you to know who to call to even ask for a voter registration form. When you don't do that, you have a whole segment of the voting bloc that may not even know that they have the right to cast a ballot.
Of the 46 county jails that responded, 57% had no written policy on jail voting. The report also found in the entire state jail population, only 52 people requested mail-in ballots in the 2020 general election at 18 of the county jails. I'm Emily Scott.
Here's the Beaver County forecast from 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and 99.3 FM.
Showers and thunderstorms today with a high of 77 degrees. And then showers tapering off overnight with a low of 58. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high of 82. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 84. And then Saturday and Sunday, both days, it's going to be mostly sunny. Both days, high is going to be 82 degrees. Our newscast this hour is being brought to you by MRS Physical Therapy with 2 locations. One located in Stowe Point Landing in Bridgewater and the other on Route 19 in Cranberry Township. I'm Frank Sparks, Beaver County Radio News, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, and streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Teleform continues. It's Dale Reckless of MRS Physical Therapy, my guest. Dale comes in from time to time, and I feel like a guinea pig, but I can't complain about it because I learned. Today is National Backpack Awareness Day. The first segment, you put a backpack on me, and it's broken down by percentage. Mm-hmm. First, I had, 25 pounds,
You started out with 15% of your weight.
15% of my weight. That's so sweet. Thank you. 15% of my weight, which was 25 pounds. You put the backpack on me, and it was kind of heavy. Then you put the backpack on me again with 40 pounds. I couldn't carry that through a school day. I couldn't carry that from home to the bus stop. It's absolutely insanely ridiculous. So please,
and that's the amount of weight that kids are carrying.
Percentage-wise, that's what they're carrying. So please, if you're listening to this and not watching it, go on Facebook and watch this. You can watch this on our Facebook page. You can watch this on the MRS Physical Therapy page. And now I get to be a spokesmodel demonstrator again. What are we doing now?
So next week is National Falls Awareness Week, and so what we like to do at MRS Physical Therapy and Cranberry Physical Therapy is we like to screen people out in the community. We do free screens.
Okay.
So all you have to do is call us up and schedule a free screen any day of the week, any time of the day. We can get you in. It doesn't take long to do. You come in for about 15, 20 minutes, and we put you on one of our computerized systems. We have two computerized systems. One's called the BioSway and one's called the Neurocom. And
those are great names.
They are highly sensitive pieces of computerized equipment that can tell us if you are a fall risk or not.
Okay.
And one of the goals, the first goal, is to find out if you're a fall risk or not. If you are a fall risk, we'll make recommendations for doing a balance program so you are no longer a fall risk. And that is something that we advocate for because there are exercises you can do to prevent falls.
And a lot of those exercises you're talking about, here's your list of exercises. You do them at home. You don't have to necessarily come in to MRS to practice this and get better. You do this at home, right?
The most important thing is what you do at home.
Right.
For most things that we recommend, the most important thing is what you do at home, is because what you do at home, 4, 5, 6 days a week is going to be much more beneficial than just coming to therapy for 1 or 2 times a week.
Right.
So the recommendations that we make are going to be things that you should be doing on a daily basis to get you out of that fall risk category. And why fall risk assessment is so important is to find out that if you are a fall risk, no one wants to fall.
No.
And we know statistically a quarter of the adult population falls every year. 1/3 of the people over the age of 65 fall every year. And 1/2 of the people of the age over 80 fall every year. So when you fall, what happens is people typically get some kind of an injury. And hopefully not, but many times it's a fracture.
Right.
And when you fall and have a fracture, you fracture your hip, your pelvis, it really changes the directory in the course of your life. It changes your ability to stay at home. It changes your lifespan, in fact. So we want to prevent those falls, and that's why we do these free fall risk screens for our community.
Okay. And we're not talking about tripping and falling. We're talking about falling without any external process involved,
Well,
right?
sometimes it could be a trip and fall. It could
Okay.
be a trip and fall if you're catching your toe on something.
Like
or
a
if you're
curb,
not,
right.
Or if you're not bending your knee or pulling your toe up far enough as you walk. And that's
Right.
something that we assess as well. We assess your walking pattern and making sure that's not a component of your fall risk. But the fall risk testing that we do is a stationary test, meaning you're just standing on 2 feet. You're standing, and this is what we're going to demonstrate in a minute. You're standing on the floor, eyes open, standing on the floor, eyes closed,
Okay.
then standing on a piece of foam, which I brought today, with your eyes open and also with your eyes closed. And what that does is it helps to differentiate the different components of your balance, because your balance is 3 major senses. And I just make it simple. I say it's your eyes, your ears, and your feet. Your
Okay.
eyes, your ears, and your feet are the 3 main components of your balance. Your eyes is the visual input that you have
Right.
to know where you are in space. Your ears is your vestibular system, which is actually inside the ear. Your inner ear is your vestibular system, which gives you your sense of balance.
If you get an ear infection, that's why sometimes you can get this, I call them the spins, and that's where that's coming from, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Any impact to your vestibular system can cause feelings of waviness when you walk, feeling like you're walking to one side. It can cause
Swimming.
dizziness, anything off like that. That's your vestibular system. And then your feet is your proprioception, which is your body's feedback to where you are in space. So your proprioception is in every joint. So for example, if you have your hand behind your back, you know if you have 2 or 3 fingers up, that's your proprioception. Without you seeing it, your body gives itself feedback to know where your joints are in space. And that can decrease in your feet as well and throw off your balance.
This may be a weird question. When you lose sensitivity, I'm thinking about diabetics. Is that more problematic because of the diabetes? You don't feel what you should feel with your feet?
Yeah, that's a big deal with people that have diabetes.
Okay.
They lose the sensation. Sometimes it's in the fingertips, sometimes it's in the feet.
Right.
You lose that sensory feedback, so it decreases your ability to know where you are in space. It decreases your balance. So
Okay.
we work a lot with people with diabetes to help improve their balance for that reason.
All right, what do you want me to do?
Okay, so
After you put the wagon train mule load on my back.
I won't make you do the balance test with the backpack on.
Oh, no,
but
you
we
should.
we probably should to show how difficult.
Let's go ahead and rear back.
Because having a
It's Backpack Awareness Cripple a Talk Host Day.
having a backpack that's too heavy, that's one of the things that impacts. It does impact your balance as well.
Oh,
But I
absolutely.
won't make you do that as well.
Okay,
So
do I
let's
need to
do it
take
without
my-
let's do it without the foam first.
Shoes on, off?
You can take your shoes off as long as you have clean socks on.
I do have clean socks on. I learned that.
You always
from-
come prepared when I'm here.
I know when Dale's here. Now, I did wear the crappy shoes, knowing I'd probably have to slip them off.
Let's
So,
go ahead and stand here so you're standing profile, looking at me, facing so the camera can see your profile there.
I'm flashing back to square dancing in 8th grade.
So the first
Go
thing you
ahead.
do is just balance with your eyes open, which is pretty typically easy for most of my clients.
Do I have to hands down, hands?
Just hands relaxed by your
Just-
side.
okay.
We do different things. Sometimes we do feet together. Sometimes we do hands across the shoulders.
Okay.
But the first easy thing for my patients that come in, if they have trouble with this one, they probably already are aware of it.
Okay.
They probably are already using a cane or a walker or something like that if they can't just stand with their eyes open facing me.
All right.
Okay? And we typically hold that for 30 seconds. For the sense of time, I won't do the full 30 seconds.
All right.
Okay? The next test is with your eyes closed. So go ahead and close your eyes.
This is a demonstration of trust with you, Dale. All right.
So Eddie's
Eyes
eyes are
closed.
closed now. So when we take your visual input away, Eddie, with his eyes closed, can no longer use his eyes to focus on a point in space.
Is it weird? Seriously, is it weird that I can feel the difference? It becomes a more conscious effort to balance with my eyes closed.
It's not weird. That's very normal. With your
Okay.
eyes closed, your other senses have to pick up the slack. So
Okay.
now your feet and your vestibular system and the ears are picking up the slack to keep yourself balanced because
All
we've
right.
taken that visual component away. So when we take that visual component away, sometimes we see a little bit of increased what we call postural sway. Increased postural sway is just a little bit of movement back and forth.
Is
and
it
that's
side to side or front to back?
It can be any of those.
Okay.
And a little bit of increased postural sway is normal because we took that visual input away. Now, people that have difficulty with this sometimes have difficulty, real world situation that I explain to my patients. They say, well, why would I close my eyes? I said, well, your eyes are closed when you're washing your hair typically or your face in the shower.
Right.
A lot of people fall in the shower because they don't have good balance when they lose that visual input and they close their eyes. You also have you can open your eyes again. You don't have good visual input when you're walking outside at nighttime. So
Right.
I've had patients that even though they were walking, their eyes were open outside at nighttime, just that decreased visual input was enough for them to lose their balance and fall.
Okay.
And that happens a lot too. My patients will fall at nighttime because they don't have that good visual input.
All right.
Okay? So we've done 2 parts of the 4-part test. Okay? The third part is standing on a piece of foam.
I really feel like when I'm standing here, my eyes are closed, you're going to smack me. I really do. And I know you won't.
So now we
Oh,
have
that's
you,
totally different.
Now we have you stand on a piece of foam with your eyes open, okay? And with your eyes open, you have your visual input. Your vestibular system is on, okay, because it's your inner ear. But now we have you standing on a piece of foam, which puts you on an uneven terrain, uneven surface, okay?
Yeah,
And
I can feel moving my feet to make the adjustments.
Yeah, people will ask me, well, why am I standing on a piece of foam? Because that's nothing I normally do. Well, what this simulates is to walking on uneven surfaces,
Right.
outside, grass, uneven driveways, sidewalks, and things like that. So this is a test with your eyes open. Your inner ears are working, your vestibular system, but standing on a piece of foam that we're kind of making your proprioception, your feet work a little bit harder.
Right.
To see if that's an issue or
I
not.
can feel that.
Okay? And typically patients will, with their eyes open, they'll feel a little bit more postural sway than they did in the first 2 parts of the test.
Yep.
So remember, this is, again, a 4-part test. The first part was on just the level surface, eyes open. The second part was on a firm surface, eyes closed.
Right.
This is part 3. Now you're standing on a piece of foam with your eyes open. So you have good visual input to help you out. Your vestibular system is keeping you where you are, but now you're standing on an uneven surface on the foam. So that's helping us to tease out if that part is a component of your balance or fall risk.
I'm also finding I'm trying to not do it. I'm locking my knees. Is that normal, or am I trying to cheat the system by doing that?
Yeah,
or-
so that's cheating a little bit,
Okay.
but you're going to be better off with your balance if you keep your knees slightly bent a little bit.
Okay.
It's going to allow your muscles to work to help you out to keep yourself balanced.
Okay.
Okay. And part 4 of the test is usually the hardest part because you stay standing on the foam, but now you close your eyes.
All right.
So you're still standing on the foam. Now your eyes are closed.
Oh, it feels noticeably different.
Now it's your vestibular system that has to keep you in space, keep you from falling. This is the hardest part for my patients, usually the one where most patients lose their balance and fall. Okay. Now, the test that we have on the computer at MRS Physical Therapy and Cranberry Physical Therapy, it has a very high sensitivity. So you don't have to necessarily fall to show that you're a fall risk. Okay. It has a high enough sensitivity that if it sees too much motion, it will tell us if you're a fall risk or not.
There is much more motion. I'm compensating by shifting side to side on my feet and front to back on my feet.
Right. So with your eyes closed, standing on this piece of foam, now it's your vestibular system or your inner ear part of your balance system that has to keep you from falling over. Okay, because I've taken the visual part away, I have you on a piece of foam that's kind of messing with your proprioception. Now it's your vestibular system that's keeping you upright in space.
Okay.
And I have a lot of patients that will fall during this last part of the test, and they're not able to hold this position at all. And they definitely go right into that fall risk category if they can't hold this position. Okay, you can go ahead and open your eyes and step off.
I kept waiting for you to tell me now touch your nose. Okay.
And step off the foam. So that is a simple test that we do at MRS Physical Therapy and Cranberry Physical Therapy to test your balance.
That's really strange to, seriously, from standing here looking, eyes closed, there wasn't that big a deal. As soon as I got on the foam, and when I got on the foam with the eyes closed, it's a conscious effort. It's like, all right, I'm and if you look down, you could see me shifting with my feet.
Yeah, all your senses pick up a little bit, right? Because you're like, I don't want to fall, especially on camera. That'd be embarrassing. And you feel the rest of your senses pick up and that's what's supposed to happen. When you're on the foam, sitting on the foam, and your eyes are closed, your vestibular system is supposed to ramp up to prevent you from falling over. And that worked for you. Now, this is a simple test that we do that if you fall, you're definitely at fall risk, but doing it here in the radio station doesn't have the same sensitivity as if we were to do it in our clinic on the bias way of the neurocom system.
Well, that's giving you data points much more specific than me telling you, okay, I feel
that
wobbly.
Gives us very specific data points to test the sensitivity, and it goes into a statistical database to compare you to other people your same age and tells us if you're a fall risk or not based on that.
Have you done any of this with backpacks on? I just looked down and I'm curious. I don't know if I could do.
You want to try it?
Not really, but now that I brought it up, I feel obligated.
You know how hard it is to get this backpack off.
This is brutal. I could not put this on. We put it on Curtis. Curtis is producing the video right now, and I bet you this is half of Curtis's weight. And okay, this is really unpleasant.
Okay, go ahead and stand on the foam there.
All right, I can stand here. I have to compensate to lean forward with the weight, but I could do that. I could do it eyes closed.
Okay.
All right.
So this would replicate your kid walking home at night over an uneven surface.
You're going to catch me, right? Famous last words. Oh, this is... All of my concentration is on trying to keep the weight on my back centered, because I can feel it. If I get too far forward, I can feel it pulling me forward.
Yeah.
Way more difficult to catch it with adjusting my feet. And if I lean back,
you're falling backwards.
I'm falling backwards.
If you try to stand upright, I have no doubt you'd fall backwards there, right? So you can feel.
Oh yeah, if I tried to straighten my spine,
you can feel how much your muscles have to kick in. Your shoulder muscles have to kick in to prevent you from falling.
It hurts.
Your core, your ab muscles have to kick in from preventing you from falling back. It takes a lot of stamina and strength to be able to maintain your balance in that position.
I'm constantly shifting one side to the other and pushing forward. And now to say uncomfortable is not right. If you're a little kid carrying this amount of weight, this isn't uncomfortable. This is potentially dangerous.
Yeah, it's not a safe scenario, right?
All right, please take this off. Oh, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. I don't remember as a kid ever having that much weight on my back, school books wise.
Yeah, and this is a real world scenario, as we discussed, as far as what kids are actually carrying, the amount of weight percentage according to their body weight, and waiting for the school bus, through the hallways at schools and things like that. So that's why it's kind of tied together Back Safety Awareness Day and our National Fall Risk week next week. But that's why it is so important to talk to your kids and teachers and school boards, if necessary, about backpack safety and how much weight they could be carrying in their backpacks.
Do kids tell the parents and the parents dismiss it with the, I walked uphill in the snow 8 miles, those are your books, you got to have your books?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think parents have an increased awareness of now, especially if their child is, saying how hard it is for them to carry it.
Right.
If they're coming home with, soreness in their muscles, or they feel like they're hunched over when they're walking. I think parents are taking that feedback and understanding that it is something that they can do something about and should do something about.
That's absolutely ludicrous, the notion of putting that much weight on a kid's back. And then you add into it, and like you said, the fall risk goes up as we age.
Mm-hmm.
That increases the fall risk a massive amount. If you're a little kindergarten kid that maybe weighs 40 or 50 pounds, that's enough weight percentage-wise to make you fall when you normally wouldn't have that issue. It can pull you over.
Imagine walking upstairs with something like that in your back.
Oh, no,
too, right?
walking upstairs, you'd have to lean. You'd look like the old guy with the bag of sticks on the Led Zeppelin album cover. You'd have to be slumped over to have any chance to get up the steps.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy. How can people make sure everybody knows how to get in touch with you? Because this is important. This is important. This is preventative, and this is something that all you need to do is search out the information to understand it. This isn't difficult information, but it's stuff. I never thought about that as a parent.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Allie, my daughter, that's your backpack. Those are your books. Go.
Yeah.
So
we have 2 clinics, one in Beaver County and one in Butler County, so we can reach a broad area. So our clinic, MRS Physical Therapy, is in Bridgewater, right in the heart of Bridgewater in Stone Point Landing, and that number is 724-728-7550. And then Cranberry Physical Therapy is right on Route 19 next to North Park Lounge in Cranberry, and that number is 724-591-8121. Again, you can reach me by email at any time at d.reckless@mrsphysicaltherapy.com. I'd be happy to share and email out one of our free backpack flyers, which gives you information about what we talked about today.
Can I post that on our Facebook page
Yeah,
and our
I'll
website?
leave this here for you, sure.
Okay.
Then you can also check it out at the WBVP website as well for the backpack flyer and information. It gives you a couple pictures of how to wear the backpack and how not to wear the backpack, the good and bad postures, as well as gives you information about what your percentage of weight should be in your child's backpack and how to properly wear the backpack as well. And then also for next week, which is National Falls Awareness Week, we are doing the free screens. And for this free screens, all you need to do is give us a call at either of those numbers, and we can schedule you for, it just takes 15 to 20 minutes to see if you're in the fall risk category or not, and we'll make recommendations for you. I have some people come in, they just want to check out, and they did great. They passed the test with flying colors, and I send them on their way.
Okay.
Other people come in, and we make recommendations to work on their balance, depending on how they do on the test. So not everyone comes in fails the test, so it is a passable test, but you want to know if you are in a fall risk category or not, because you don't want to be one of the statistics of falling in this calendar year.
Because, and we've talked about this before, falling, that's bad enough, but when you fall and something else gets hurt, that can start a spiral of bad that becomes a daily hassle, if not worse, doesn't it?
That's right. I've had patients that did not come to see us and didn't realize they were a fall risk until they fell and had an injury.
Right.
And we take care of all those as well, but we would much prefer to prevent the fall than to treat the fall. And we treat falls all the time. We treat people with concussions, broken bones, sprains or strains from their falls, but it's always best if we can prevent that, and you have a much better course and outcome if we can prevent the fall versus have to treat you from the fall. It's a much shorter treatment to prevent the fall as well than to treat you from the injury from the fall.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left. I do want to ask you kind of an outside-the-box question. People that work out, they'll put on weight vests.
Mm-hmm.
Does that create potential problems for the spinal column? Because I understand the vest helps balance it. You're not being pulled back, but you're talking about putting weight on your spinal column that's not normally there.
Yeah, so there's an advantage of weight vests, and I think there's some benefits to it.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, when you're going to work out and you put on a weight vest, you're intending to be lifting weights,
Right.
and you're thinking about your proper lift. You should be thinking about your proper lifting technique, your proper posture when you do it. You shouldn't have too much weight in your weight vest. A lot of the weight vests you can incrementally increase the amount of
Right,
weight
with-
that you have
with
on
the
them
pockets.
to what you can tolerate. But you're not standing there for hours at a time or walking for hours at a time with it on.
Okay.
And certainly we don't want our young kids wearing weight vests to train themselves for school. That shouldn't be a necessary thing they have to do to prepare for school. So
well, that's why I ask you that, because the only chance a little kid would have carrying that much weight percentage-wise, you would have to work out to build up your body to be able to deal with it. And that seems incredibly counterintuitive or counterproductive for a little kid to be doing that.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
Another thing that a way for people to check out our information is check out our website. Our website is mrsphysicaltherapy.com. Has a lot of information that we shared and talked about today. It's all free information. You don't have to sign in to or give us your information and check out our website and get free information, free exercise, things like that. Also remember that we can see patients through direct access, which means you can come to see us at any time without a script. So if you have a mild sprain or strain, or maybe your kid is complaining of some shoulder soreness or back soreness from carrying a heavy backpack, you don't need a script from your doctor. You can just call us up and we can get you in for an evaluation and treat the mild sprain or strain to get you feeling better.
Is there anything just off the top of your head that you think the schools can do? Can the schools say, okay, we've got kids carrying too many books?
Well,
or
I think
too much weight.
Education's key. Education on how to properly wear a backpack. Education for maybe using one of those trolley style backpacks if the load that they carry is required to be that amount. But I think schools should start actively looking at do our kids have to be carrying everything back and forth? Can some things stay in a locker? So they're not having to carry things home every day. That kind of thing.
You caused me to be a spokesmodel today. And it wasn't nearly as horrible as I thought, and I learned a lot, and I very much appreciate it. What we talked about today has a direct effect on daily lives for grown-ups and, more importantly, for kids.
Yeah.
Okay, and today was National Backpack Awareness Day, is that right?
That's right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to put the backpack on me one more time so you can make fun of me as we close? That was insane. There's no way any kid should be carrying that percentage of weight to and from school.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered a lot of things today. We cover all ages. MRS Physical Therapy treats all ages. I'll throw that out there as well. We treat young kids all the way up through older adults. So no matter what your age, no matter what your diagnosis, we can take care of it at MRS Physical Therapy and Cranberry Physical Therapy.
Dale Reckless, my guy, always great to see you, even when you make me do stupid human tricks. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Teleforum News is next on Beaver County Radio. I want to put the backpack on again.
Can 2 words really change your outlook on life?
Play ball!
They can when it's those 2 words. Those are the words you've been longing to hear. It is time to play ball, so turn your radio on and feel your heart skip a beat as the crack of the bat and the voices of the Pirates Radio Network take you to your happy place on Beaver County Radio. Pirates baseball coverage is presented locally in part by Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, St. Barnabas, and Falcones Moon Township Ford. It's time to play ball on WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM.